Welcome back, my friends. You may be asking, why do we have all these systems lying around? And the reason is because today we're going to be taking a look at this brand new controller from 8Bitdo. Mine came with a free courtesy dent in the box from Amazon. That usually happens when they ship stuff like this in an envelope instead of a box. But hey, yours may not come with that, so keep that in mind. But this may look familiar to you. The 8Bitdo SN30 Pro. We've taken a look at the Bluetooth version in the past. That one goes for about $45. This is the new USB version. So you may be asking yourself, well, why? Why do we want this wired one? Well, I'm going to give you some idea, I guess. It's cheaper. $25. Some people prefer wired. You don't have to charge this thing. Lower latency. All those kind of awesome, magical things. And for some people, wired controllers just spark joy. I don't know. I do love wired controllers, so that's why I wanted to take a look at this. But here we go. I'm going to talk about compatibility, what it works with, what it doesn't work with. That's why we have all this wonderful stuff lying around. But here we go. Box, very minimal. Not much information on it. Just tells you it's a, USB gamepad. Doesn't even tell you how long the cord is, which is unfortunate. I know how long it is, but I do wish they would mark that on the box. But it does state on the back, compatible with Switch, Steam, Windows, and the Raspberry Pi, and a lot more. Pretty much any Android device for the most part. Not everything, but most. It's going to work for your Odroid, stuff like that. Raspberry Pi builds. You're going to be good to go. So here she is in all its glory. So I have been using this thing a little bit. I always forget to take these stupid stickers off of the buttons, but there you go. I still have stickers on my my other SN30 that I got with my analog ghostly Super NT, and they're still on there. Freaking nuts, right? So here it is. Dual analog. We have our A, B, X, Y, our home button, our little star button. Like, what is that for the Switch? I can never remember what that does. Star. It just says star. So whatever the star button does, but the one on the right is the home button. So it does come with that little manual thing there. Dual analogs. Very nice. Clickable. You got that. Select and start. And then we do have our LR, our L2, and our R2. Very accessible. If you like the feel of a Super Nintendo controller, this is tops right here, in my opinion. There is one comfort issue in my eyes, and that is the back, the L2 and the R2. I'm going to try to demonstrate, but if you don't rest your fingers on top, which whenever I use a Super Nintendo style controller, I always have my index fingers on top. But if you rest them behind, it kind of, lips over a little bit. Kind of has a little scratchiness to it. Just going to depend on how you hold it. So this thing is plug and play with the Nintendo Switch. Pretty awesome. The instructions do state to make sure you have the Pro Controller wired communication on. So that is important. You can obviously play this docked and plug it into the dock. Or if you have a USB to USB-C adapter, you can easily just plug it in and start gaming, as you see. And it works excellently well in my eyes. I love using these style controllers for old school games. Super Nintendo, Super Nintendo, NES, all that good stuff. That is what I love about using a controller like this. It feels more natural. You know what I'm saying? The D-pad is very responsive. The buttons feel good. Not a lot I can complain about. I can't see my Switch, so that's the only reason I'm sucking here. And this game kind of is difficult. Oh, snap. But, yeah, it works excellently well for the Nintendo Switch. Playing a lot of games, fighting games, your arcade-style games, your indie style games, whatever, you know what I mean? The analogs work. I think it's really awesome for sure for the Switch. Now, let's press that. Oh, the star button. That's why, because I never use this damn thing. The star button is to take screenshots. What? Hit that home button. Get out of there. You know what I'm saying? But I have actually been using this to play the Castlevania Chronicles, or not Castlevania Chronicles, the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, and it works very well. I think it's pretty sweet. Now for other devices, before we go, I don't want this to be a long video whatsoever, but for other devices that we would use USB on that I already know people are going to ask, PlayStation Classic is a nope. It's a triple nope, a no, sir. If you plug it in through an OTG adapter, it partially functions that way. It'll partially function in player 2 port from my testing. But what happens is you can't get into anything, and the only thing that works will be the left analog. And what'll happen is it'll just like act like it's constantly hitting left for whatever reason, and it'll just keep scrolling through. So PlayStation Classic is a no. Now, I know the other thing that people will ask is whether or not it'll work with the Super Retrocade from Retrobit. Does not work, unfortunately. I really wish it would have worked for this. I did test it, tried it out, did everything I could, plugged in an original controller, then plugged this in, booted it up, turned it off, turned it on. Does not work. Really wish it did, but it does not work at this time. Mister, awesome. Works perfectly fine. Everything registers as long as you bind your keys properly to the games you're playing. Not an issue. Also, any of your Raspberry Pis running RetroPie, Recalbox, it's going to work. Works just fine. I tested it on a Recalbox and RetroPie earlier on a Pi 3B Plus. This is an A Plus. Never even used this damn thing, not for much of anything anyway. But yeah, the controller is going to work through RetroPie, so we're good on that. So do I recommend this controller? It's just going to depend. I enjoy it. If I didn't like it, I spent my own money on it. I would just return it and get my money back. I'm keeping it. Reason being, it's because I actually enjoy playing my Switch like this on occasion, depending upon, where I'm at. I'll be over at Carl's Jr., Burger King, something. I mean, I've never done this. I'm just imagining stuff. Starbucks or something. Sitting there playing this. Drinking my mocha latte chiller or something, frappuccino, I don't know, grande style, just chilling. I don't know, for some reason I do like playing it like this, especially if I'm don't have access to a TV at the moment. Boom, got my stand, got my Switch, got my adapter, got the controller plugged in. I'm rocking and rolling. Love it for the Switch. I'll probably use it for the Mister quite a bit as well. I really think it'll work with this extremely well. I mean, I have tested it, but for most systems is what I mean. Should be no problem playing games. I do like swapping controllers for Mister though. If I'm playing Sega Genesis, I want a Sega Genesis style controller, so on and so forth. But for my Super Nintendo and NES, I think this works. Using this for PC as well, playing games on Steam or through emulation, it works great. I'm always looking for a real high quality USB controller replacement for the Xbox 360 controller, because those controllers, the wired ones that are just complete wired for PC, that were, they were marketed for PC, they can be used for other things, but those are very popular and you just can't find them anymore. They're gone. You can find used ones, but to find a good replacement for that, sure, this doesn't fit in the hands the same way, but if you love the Super Nintendo style and the way it feels, this is a good replacement in my eyes. Some people have said, I saw one person, I can't remember who it was, they said when they would use this, that they would constantly hit like the right analog, or was it that they would hit like the buttons? One or the other. Just this side, they would have an issue. I've used this quite a bit and I don't have any problem. I mean, if you're like going crazy, yeah, you're going to hit those analogs because they are a little close to the buttons. But if you're just playing games, I mean, you're not going to have a problem really, unless you get really rough with it. So that's one thing to keep in mind too. If you get a little loosey with your fingers, you might be hitting this analog. You could. I haven't had an issue with that, but it's worth pointing out somebody did bring that up concerning the previous version, which is the same damn thing. Oh, yeah. This does have rumble, too. You got rumble on this bad boy. So there you go. If you want a wired rumble Super Nintendo style dual analog stick controller with an L and R, L2 and R2 shoulder button, this might do it for you. $25, not too bad. I think it was a pretty good deal. So really do appreciate it, guys. With that said, I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, bye-byes, and boom. Bye. Thumbs up.